Hi friends, this is Sanjay Parihar from Houston, Texas. I'm a technologist, and as we promised, we are going to bring a lot of important faces in from tour and travel industry and take their feedback on how they are planning for post Covid-19 and what are the thought process, what are the innovation they are bringing in tour and travel industry. So here we are with Mr. Jobin Joseph from Luxury Cruises. Hi, Mr. Jobin, how are you?
Hello, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm good.
Hi, good
How about you?
evening.
Great. Mr. Rohit Srivastava is also joining. He's travel agent, serve hundreds of customers. So with that thought process, now, Mr. Jobin, let's talk about some of the COVID-19 measurements which you are taking. And I know it's a houseboat concept, so it's very interesting concept to begin with. Now, how you are planning for post COVID-19 time? How you are planning to serve customers who are coming after that? Please go ahead.
First of all, Sanjay and Rohit, thank you so much for inviting me for such a nice discussion. And in fact, we as a family all together are going through the worst scenario right now. That's in our lifetime. That's COVID-19 pandemic. And as far as Spice Routes is concerned, we are going to face COVID-19, post COVID-19, in several stages. One is we are doing a planning stage. We are having an SOP for security staff, SOPs for boat staff, SOPs for office staff, and SOPs for guest check-ins. So that's how we are planning. We are having it in different stages. If you look at the planning stage, we have already filed out contacts. Social distancing methods analyzed and procedures has been put in.
Great.
We've also purchased equipments. We've done SOPs we have done an analysis on current SOPs and looking at the new set of SOPs with COVID-19 protocols. That's the planning stage I'm talking about. Now coming to the security staff, the security is the first point of contact for any property. So looking at these, we have also given few SOPs for securities. That is, they start disinfecting their rooms as well as himself once he joins. That's one of the main thing. He definitely has to take the temperatures of all the boat staff and has to be logged. Temperature of all non-staff, temperature of all vendors, sanitize all procurements which is coming inside the property. That's where very few of the SOPs what we are planning for in the security level. Now coming for the security level of boat staff, we have soon after the checkouts, all the boat staff has to report to the security, and we will be taking their temperatures and we will be recording it, and all returns from the boat has to be entered to the returns has to be done in a specific manner. The staff has to get into the guest room, collect all their linens without cluttering them and place in the center of the sheet, and it has to be bundled and put to the laundry room. And that's one of the some of the USPs for the boat staff. Now coming for the kitchen staff also, we have to disinfect all the equipments, containers, use 6% solution of TCCA 90 and rinse thoroughly. This is what we are planning for. Coming to the office staff has to be reporting for duty with clean and disinfected also. We'll be using only vacuum cleaners for all the general area where we'll be doing the cleaning part. And that's the entry area and the office area.
Great.
Looking on the check-in, SOPs for check-in, that's the main highlight. All the guests once reach, they will be given sanitizers and their body temperature will be also taken.
Wow.
That is just because they will be traveling around the area, and we don't know when and where they have got contact with somebody. So we'll be recording it, and the security will be taking it, and it will be recorded in the logbook. The guest luggages will be sprayed with 200 mg sodium hypochlorite, and the guest will be greeted with folding hand and namaste.
Namaste.
No more garlanding.
Yes.
No more garlanding. No more handshakes.
Yeah.
That's one major step we wanted to do for social distancing.
Yeah.
The other thing is that on a houseboat, the advantage is that each guest is taking a boat. So we will not be doing the check-in at the main reception area. We'll be taking directly the guest to the boat. And the check-in will be done in the living room, in the living area of the individual houseboats. So that very minimum contact with others is being kept. That's one of the things. And the briefing is also done for the guest with in front of the staff, and all the COVID-19 protocols prevalent at that time will be followed.
Right.
And the main thing is that we don't allow guests to get down in any places on the way, because we don't want anything disturbing for them. So we are avoiding stopovers while cruising during this COVID time. And the boat will be docked only in the night at the designated place. That's our own private land area, where it will be taken with utmost care.
Wow.
So these are the different SOPs we look at in different levels of our staff.
Wow, and it's great to hear that there's different phases of post COVID-19 era, and each phase has its own SOPs, and as such, if we speak about Spice Route luxury cruises, they are pretty much considering all the phases, and they are pretty much taking all the norms and measurements, implementing that the same time. And along with the technology and trainings, I think that is definitely going to help a lot. While we are talking, Geeta, Director of Sales, has joined us call. Welcome, Geeta, in our show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Sanjay ji and Rohit ji. To the Jobin ji too.
So exactly, and this cruises, as an out. I mean, I live in Houston, Texas. We don't have anything like that, and trust me, when I saw the picture, my eye lit up. Man, this is so beautiful. And we definitely don't want to miss when we come to India there. Now, I see that there are a lot of notable people went to houseboats, right? And I see a long lasting list. So I want to hear from you. Who are they? I mean, who did like it? And tell us more about that.
We had many celebrities on our boat, from film stars to politicians, but the icing on the cake was the royal couple of Netherlands. They were at the King and Queen of Netherlands. They had a backwater tour on our boat called Spice Routes Tamarind. They chose us as the host, and we were more than happy to have them on board. And they had a wonderful time. They even gave an appreciation letter for the company for doing the best service. So that's a major appreciation for us.
Great.
And to Sanjay, I would like to add, we have maximum number of US clientele also.
I won't be surprised. Yeah. Sure. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
that's all. Okay. So yes, I mean that's that's great to hear when people of this kind of profile, they're spending some time in houseboats and they are saying that they are appreciating it, and it's such a great service which you are doing to the people and tourists. Now, coming back to this thing, houseboats has certain benefits in the post COVID-19. So we talked about some of the SOP which you have taken, but houseboats by design has a lot of benefits for the post COVID-19. Let's talk about that. That's, I think, very important to talk about here.
You're very correct, and you're on to the point.
Yeah.
See, I can
Thank you.
give you I can give you that. I can tell you that why the houseboats or Spice Routes houseboats is the best option for a holiday in current scenario. The first and foremost is that the guests are welcomed to an experience in a 150-year-old ancestral house where they that's not near the maddening crowd. So this is about 10 kilometers away from Alleppey city, and we have our own private jetty. So that's where the guest is welcome. That is one. Second is that the guests are traveling with their own team members. They will not be having any other contact with anyone. Like any other holiday. The third one, I can say that, like any other holiday, if you've been to any other destination, you'll have to take a cab, or you'll have to take a motorbike or a bicycle to see around the destination. But while you're on the backwaters, while you're on the houseboat, you don't have to take any other means of transport, because you are already on a houseboat, confined to yourself, and you'll be cruising along the beauty of the backwater. So that's one of the USP of houseboats, if I would say, during this period of time. And the other thing is like experiencing of bird watching, village life, festivals, etc. could be done without any disturbance or hindrance. And the add-on what we have given in our boat is that we have kept a coffee table book in all our houseboats. That is, it will have the important flora, fauna. It will have the important temples, churches, all these details, including the fishes in the lake, or how the backwater was, the paddy cultivation has been happening, and who reclaimed the land. All this history combined to about 60 pages, and 22 pages dedicated only for birds in this locality on our houseboat, so that they don't have any boring time. They will be entirely enjoying the cruise, as well as and we also give accessories like bird scope, guides for bird watching, fishing rods, angling, indoor game, etc. So that's one of the USP. The other USP is that we don't have any bulk cooking. Your food is freshly cooked by a butler or by a cook on board.
On board.
On board. You don't have anything coming from outside, or you don't have a bulk cooking in the houseboat. So it's more of a unique experience for them. And our houseboats are all equipped with the adequate safety equipments, first aid, and facilities on board.
Great.
Those are some of the,
it's in a world in itself for that entire journey, right? And that's beautiful to hear. Now, some people like us, like tourists, they will be having this question in their mind: how to choose houseboats? I mean, what are the things which one should think about while choosing the houseboat? Because there are multiple things are there, and it's not a hotel; it's a different experience, right? So, please go ahead.
It's as you said, it's not an organized sector.
Yes.
There are about more than 1,000 houseboats in the backwaters of Alleppey. Each houseboats vary in their size, shape, interiors. So it's all different, and it's built in different periods of time. So I can say that we can categorize the boats on the basis of operation differences. I would say we have deluxe houseboats. Deluxe houseboats are the houseboats which has got air condition open, like air condition working from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Right.
Then we have the premium houseboats where the air conditions are working from 6 p.m. to next day 6 a.m.
Okay.
It's the same. It's going to be the same boat, but going to have an air condition time more. Then we have the luxury segment. That's a different segment. Luxury segment will have a complete air conditioned living area. It will have better rooms, and it will have 24 hours. That's whenever the guests check in till the guests check out. We'll have air condition running. Then we also have another category, that is the super luxury or the ultra luxury segment. That's where we are placed our boats. Over this category, the decor of houseboats is more plush, more luxury element to the room and to amenities. 24-hour air condition, 24-hour running hot water, special menu, etc. These are some of the add-ons. This is how we divide the segments of boats. And I would recommend you always to visit the houseboats, not just the boats, their boarding point, their deboarding point, their night halt. So this will give you a more clear picture on how the boats are. And you can also use the local DMCs, which can help you to make sure that these boats are given to your client, because we don't outsource boats. So when we give you a name of the boat, we make sure that we give you the same boat which is given to you. So this can also be a factor where you can concentrate more.
Great. Yeah.
That's right. And in fact, like when you're explaining such a lovely journey about the houseboat, and I understand this runs on some of the lake there, and I understand it goes to the certain places, certain area. It could be some routes as well. So could you please let us know, like what exactly the route, how does it work?
Yeah, sure. Actually, see, the backwaters is a mix of lakes, lagoons, canals, small streams, all together, islands, all together forms the backwaters. And the backwaters of Kerala is spread about, I think, about 900 square kilometers. So we have different routes. We have different routes for different clientele, depending on the guest requirement and the duration of their stay. So that's the main highlight: their duration of stay and the guest requirement. So that's one. But we have few popular routes. That's Alleppey Kumarakam or Kumarakam Alleppey, which is vice versa. Alleppey, which is the best routing I would suggest you, because looking at the backwater picture, you will have more idea. That is, towards Kumarakam or Kochi side, you have more of bigger lakes. But the clients would like to see the life of the backwaters. They always prefer to be in the Alleppey route. So that's the reason why I recommend Alleppey route, which will give you more life of the backwaters. Then the other popular route is Alleppey Thotapalli or Thotapalli Alleppey. So these three are the major popular routes, but we definitely have longer routes for 7 nights, 5 nights. Different routes are also there.
Okay. And to add this thing, I suppose some of the people, they would like to know, like it is like the few, I think it's one can join for the day cruise, one can join for the overnight cruise for 1 night or maybe 2 nights as well. Is it so?
Yes. We have day cruises, we have overnight cruises. Basically, day cruises and overnight. But I would recommend you to sell more of overnight, because that's an experience by itself. You can be in any hotel, you can be in any part of the world, but being on a houseboat, being on the backwaters, having a chef to yourself, you have a captain, you have a caretaker, so 3 people to service you. It's a different experience altogether. And I would strongly recommend you to sell it as an overnight destination.
Wow, great.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of facilities for the clients as well, like you mentioned in the previous conversation, right? I mean, and how's the cuisine overlooks like? What type of cuisine you kind of cover during the houseboat journey?
See, on a houseboat, I would recommend you. We generally give Kerala cuisine, because I would also recommend you to go for Kerala authentic cuisine, because all these crew are locally employed. So they are trained and they've been working as chefs or a captain or a engine operator. So they are good at the food. So that's the Kerala authentic cuisine which we recommend. And generally on a houseboat, the meal starts with the lunch, and for our lunch we give banana leaf lunch, Kerala authentic banana leaf lunch with some non-veg, and seafood definitely is the highlight of Kerala. And we have in Alleppey, we are connected to the sea as well as to the fresh water. So from the fresh water, the local delicacy is the curry meat, that's Pearl's corn. We have different type of preparations for that. So I would recommend that. And
Great.
coming to Spice Routes, we also have a policy that we call up the guest well in advance. We welcome the guest well in advance before they could reach Alleppey. We call up them, look for their menu, choices of the menu, and we also look at their dietary constraints, restrictions, and we plan accordingly.
Great to hear that. So there's a lot of options for somebody who comes from outside and even within the country itself. Great. So yeah.
Right. So again, like when you have mentioned this thing, and I understand, like we are cruising to the different route of the backwaters. Is there any also possibility, like we get down from the houseboat and experience some village life? Does it possible? Like wow.
Yeah. See, local village life, paddy field visits, or fishing. These are regular highlights of backwater tour. So we at Spice Routes have has a special program called Farmer House Visit. We take the guest to a local farmer house, show them 4 generations they live together, and show them clam deshelling, toddy tapping, coconut rearing, and so
Okay.
that's how we have a special program. But post COVID, I think we will be having a slow pace on this, because we don't want to do any activities. We don't want our guests to get down post COVID. Maybe on a later stage we will definitely do that.
Absolutely. That's a very wise planning and looking at the criticality of this problem, right? And now since we are talking about houseboats, and like you said, it's not like very organized sector. That's why it's a very natural and very great experience to the tourist. Now, what are some of the do's and don'ts for when we talk about houseboats?
See, there are a lot of do's and don'ts on houseboats.
I'm sure there must be.
We have noted about 18 do's and don'ts on our boats.
Right.
We have a clear notice or a photo frame which is kept in all the boats with the do's and don'ts for the guest. So, but I would like to highlight few of them. One is we have all the life-saving equipments on the boat. Jumping out of the boat is prohibited.
Of course.
You cannot smoke. We always told, we tell them non-smoking area as a houseboat, because it's all made of bamboo and coir. All the kids and invalids must be under the strict observation of their parents. That's main thing which we highlight when the kids are there. And for the embarkment and disembarkment, we always tell them while check-in, use the help of the crew, because without the crew, the boats might be shaking. There are chances that they might slip down. So we highlight these few points, and all the safety and security, the ultimate decision makers will be the boat crew. So we have very clearly pointed it out as the 18th point, that is decisions regarding safety and security of the boat, where the crew will be the final and binding, because they know the wind, they know the tide, they know the directions. So it's up to them, because once we do the check-in, they are with the guest, and they come back only on the next day. So that's few of the do's and don'ts.
Right. And I'm sure there's the long list.
Yeah, we do have. No, we do have a long list of do's and don'ts. We do have a code of conduct also for staff, crew, staff as well as the guest, and some responsible tourism initiatives also.
Right, and this list is gonna be only longer with the post-COVID-19 measurements, because now you're gonna add more and more things for the sanitation as well. So
sure.
There's no
but,
great. So
but we never wanted to disturb the client.
Absolutely.
We'll keep that.
Absolutely. So while we are about to wrap up the call, and this was so wonderful talking to you both. I mean, so is there any other notable point which we want to bring it here in our discussion?
Nothing as such. I think you've already covered most of the. I think you've done a very good homework, and you've asked me.
Thank you.
all the questions. So that's a nice discussion we had for last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah. And so just I want to reiterate some of the missions which we are talking about, as we feel that as a Triluxo talk, basically the travel industry is going through a very rough patch, and we just feel that how can we help to get their opinion and voice to the consumer audience, our audience, their audience in a way, and help them in a way, and that's where we are going with very much focused way of the conversation, because each entity is so different. And considering the houseboats, it's so great about learning. I mean, I wish we would have something like this in Houston, but we don't have. But yeah, we don't have anything like that. I saw the pictures, beautiful. So okay. So in that case, thank you very much for joining.
I would request you to fly down to Kerala, come over for your next holiday.
100%.
Let's take a selfie.
100%, and great. And I have a route. I have a ties with Kochi, big ties with the Kochi.
Is it okay?
Yeah. So it's great. So thank you very much for joining the show. Thank you, Mr. Robin. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for joining the call.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.